man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what?
To absolutely no one.
The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
Well, yeah.
All right, we're rolling before you say anything discriminatory.
Discriminatory. Made in Trafford podcast episode, I'm guessing 270?
Nah.
Not even close.
It's close. I reckon it's 272.
272? Last episode was called What If. That's crazy. I watched What If, by the way.
What did you think?
Shit's still as dumb as you guys when you guys tried to sell it to me.
It was worse.
I can't believe a human and a duck.
You were made for loving me, baby.
They went over the top. That fact, they just said this is for the gal them.
Yeah, man. Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, the Agatha episode was good. She is seriously powerful in that. But Main Chapter podcast episode 272, that's what I'm being told. The real is back, the real is back. I am him, I'll tell you every week. You know, do your Googles. Get to know if you don't know already. I'm him, Himothy. Dancing DK, watch your back.
Wash them.
I'm going to pass it to my partner, Pause.
Cole Sanusi, Don Corleone in the building, one and only, aka L. Coolins, aka Cino, aka Hollywood Cole, aka Dog Dad. We here, man. Coming through your left ear, your right ear, surround speakers, smart speakers, portable speakers, you name it. We there. Episode 272. Let's be getting it.
Pause.
I mean, I guess.
It's Iman G45, the G solid in my name. 45 is silent.
Come
it's
on.
Genghis Chibogo, you print to the east. 10 for Haeems. R&B voices present.
Yes, sir.
Black Mamba Dove. Chi-Yam.
Yeah.
My God is better than your God.
That's a
Always has
fact.
been since the beginning and the end. Alpha, Omega, everything.
John 3:16.
John 3:16. Yes, of course.
You know it.
Anyways, let's get straight to the pod.
Let's.
Start off.
LA Fires.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to people who have lost their lives in the Los Angeles fires and also, California fires. And also on top of that, condolences to the family members who have lost someone too. It's been very tragic on what's happened. So I think it's a bushfire?
I don't know if it's a bushfire.
It's not bushfire. Well, of course it's not.
Yeah.
This is excessive to be a bushfire, but fires. I don't know. I've forgotten what it's called actually.
Is it forest fire?
Forest fire. Forest fire started. I think it was engineered forest fire.
What, they did it on purpose?
Yeah, because sometimes they do that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sometimes they do that purposely to like stop wildfires.
Yeah.
Stop wildfires from being extremely excessive, and also to improve the environment out there. It's a whole process, of course, but it takes time. But you know, they have these wildfires, they start them and then they curate them and make sure they control them.
Yeah.
But many things have happened since last year and up until now in terms of legislation, funding, insurance companies, so on and so forth. And then all of this has happened now. It's all crazy. So, yeah.
Nah, it's mad. Honestly, I can't believe the level of devastation that's being caused by it. I didn't think it would get as bad as it has. The situations people find themselves in, and it's reached everyone. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. Celebrities have lost their homes. Regular people have lost their homes. People have lost their lives to this. You can't even blame the government because it's such a natural disaster. I don't really know what I would even say you can do. They're trying to do everything that they can, and they're just not having any luck with putting it out. And it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon.
Well, firstly, the California government, I think, had pulled funding from the fire department, and either LA mayor or just California state itself had removed funding from the fire department. And from that point, you now have a lot less workers, a lot less equipment to be in a position to actually stop these wildfires from getting even worse. Secondly, the insurance companies, this was a massive thing last year, but they stopped, or basically they removed the policy of like, if their house gets burned down or anything like that.
Yes, I heard about that.
So, luckily, I think the governor turned around and basically said there is no such thing as companies right now revoking any insurance for house fires.
So what they're trying to protect them?
Yeah, they're trying to protect the consumers, because like if I put your house on insurance and content in house fires, and the house fire happens and you say nah, it ain't protected, it's like, well, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna live?
Because that's what I saw. I saw that they were saying, but basically they weren't giving out insurance anymore for fires because the chance of it happening was so high.
Too high.
Yeah. So what the city did was they just put a pot together and said, if anything happens, we'll pay you guys out. But I don't think they foresaw the level of tragedy that's happening right now.
Yeah, I think that pot is like 300 million, but the amount of damage is up to 20 billion. So
20 billion?
Yeah. I don't know if that's what insurance company has altogether.
Nah, no one's giving that. No one's paying it out.
Yeah.
There's no way someone's paying out 20 billion. That's nuts.
That's peak.
Yeah, or you got to stop funding other countries, but that's another conversation in
won't.
itself. But on top of that, it's the fact that most of the insurance companies have actually left California, like years before this, as if they knew something was happening. And I'm not going to get into conspiracy theory on like how these fires may have happened, red tear, and blah blah blah. All I know is that wildfire happened and it just got out of control, and boom, that's what happened.
I mean, even if you wanted to get into your conspiracy bag, this isn't beneficial to anyone. I don't know. You'll probably find out that it is, but it just doesn't seem like the level of destruction that's happened. No one wins here.
Yeah, nobody does. But and the way California itself had been moving, for example, places in like LA where like homelessness was just all time high. You go to San Francisco, like they have like apps to basically say where it's like where people just go to excrete.
Damn.
Like in like the normal roads. So like they have apps where they say like this is the most places where people go, and so there's some places where people go. Like the whole of California is just going through like a turmoil. And then now this, it's like how many thousands of houses are in this like on displacement? How many mortgages people have to pay, and they can't pay it off because insurance companies have now turned around and said that we can't give it off. So how many people lost their jobs?
I didn't even think about that.
How many schools? It's
Do people still have to pay their mortgage?
If your house burns down and you didn't put home insurance, then bro, you're done.
Yikes.
You got to pay that.
You got to pay on something that's not even there.
Yeah, go and get home insurance.
Get home insurance.
I mean, the bank still needs its what you call it? Still needs its money for the mortgage. So I get it, but that just seems so cruel.
Yeah, like for example, my man in the group chat, he had his kitchen burnt down, and then they relocated him somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then from that point, they accommodated him. They took care of the house. They cleaned up the house. Any clothes or anything like that, they probably washed it, and then they redid the whole kitchen. Yeah. Now, thankfully, that's just the kitchen, and nobody died on that particular day or whatever the case was. But if the whole house burns down, then they'll do an investigation. If they find out that something just happened, and they find out, you know what, we can actually pay you out, and then pay off the whole house, and then give you another accommodation to do whatever, cool, that's what they'll do. But
do you know what's kind of mad? Because
I'm just guessing. But from what happened to the guy in the group chat,
because what's it? Not a lot of people. it makes you question: is a lot of places on Earth not designed for us to live? You know, these areas are really foresty, and you look at the climate there. I don't want to say this is inevitable, but this is a situation or an issue that LA has faced numerous times. I think this is just probably one of the worst experiences that they've had. But you know,
so because back in the day people used to build houses with wood, and like the whole industry in the United States is basically built on wood. Like if you want to build a house, you build it with wood. There's no point in you can build it with bricks, but the amount of time it takes to build with bricks compared to wood, and more time, the climate out there is okay enough for you to have like a wooden house.
yeah.
So most of the time their houses are all done up with wood. There is no bricks.
But even the celebrity houses that are going up in flames, are you saying they're made with wood as well?
I can't make a comment on that. I'm just saying regular houses.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like most people, like their house is just made up with, majority of it is made up of wood. And then if you keep going further and further and further. So now there was like one clip I saw where they were saying there should be like a cultural change where houses will now be turned into bricks or concrete, simply for the fact that this can't happen again. And LA will be renewed. The only unfortunate situation is that for the people who may have not been able to afford it, they probably have to be displaced somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
That man trying to sort out that city is going to take ages, and I know they're going to pull their teeth to do it because no one want to take responsibility. That's what's going to be the frustrating thing.
they'll find out who it is.
No, it's not about who's done it. It's about trying to get the city back on its feet.
Yeah.
And that could take years.
However, they shouldn't go off and build their houses back in wood. Yeah, but if we really wanted to get into like a known conspiracy out there, is the fact that they were building like a super fast highway throughout these specific areas that are all burnt down.
Is that what they want? What was the highway going to do though? What's it? So was it connecting?
It's basically making LA, well, not LA, but California a lot more accessible in every area in every way, rather than just being like a paved road in certain places, and then hard for people to navigate, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, if I wanted to go further, there's even another conspiracy theory was like new projects like not gentrification, but homing projects, housing projects, urban projects, all these other projects that have happened. They will go into certain communities, basically tell them you got to leave because this is what's happening. Like built communities, people who live there, and so on and so forth, and then put out projects, and then that's where you have like these urban areas where it's densely populated and it's not really functioning properly. But that's for another conversation. But more so to LA, it's real sad at the moment.
No, that is a real sad situation. And shout out to everyone who's trying to do something about it. I saw Meghan Markle can't catch a break. She went out there to do charity, tried to do some good work. They said she has a way to make everything about her. I just thought that was interesting.
Oh, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, but if you're a celebrity right now and you want to help, you're damned if you do, damned
if you don't. I couldn't believe they were onto her like that. I was shocked.
There's people that have been getting on to celebrities who even lost stuff in the fire.
I saw what's her name? She was in a show I liked a few years ago called This Is Us, and she posted someone's GoFundMe who'd been affected by the fires. She herself had been impacted by the fires. People seem to think celebrities are made up like a bajillionaire. Some of these people, they've lost stuff. Like it's not going to be easy to recoup that stuff, or their expensive house. It's not going to be easy to get it back. I'm not saying I'm riding for the celebrities,
except for the Diddy files, but
there's the other house in LA that they're trying to.
Probably a warehouse there.
A warehouse, a warehouse of baby oil.
Spread the fire.
Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, people need to be a bit more sensitive for this. And you know, if the celebrities choose to come out and say, "Hey, it's fucked up that I lost stuff," I hear it because it is. And when this sort of thing happens, it's not even so much losing the house. You might have memories in there. You have pictures. You have belongings that you can't get back.
Yeah,
that's what's the most fucked up about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thoughts and prayers. We get bored of saying it as a society, but it really is thoughts and prayers to the citizens of Los Angeles.
Specifically the Palisades, isn't it? So it's like a certain part of LA where it's happened. So love and condolences to the people who live in the Palisades.
Is it just LA or California?
No, it's
just LA.
It's the Palisades in California. So LA is massive.
I see.
But it couldn't. If it was a whole of LA, this would be the biggest thing that's ever happened in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But it's
Really?
Because I know California
it's a
is
specific
extreme
part of
large.
Palisades.
Okay.
A specific part of LA which is called the Palisades, and it's like, I don't know where it is specifically on the map, but LA is quite a big city. So thank God it's not the whole.
Yeah,
LA
I mean,
in flames, but
And then, I just hope the rest of the state is okay. But then again, California is humongous.
state.
Yeah, it's a big state. And then, like you said rightly, LA is a big city. So, yeah, I know they were concerned at one point about it getting to the Hollywood sign. That'd be fucked up.
Yeah, crazy.
I can't lie. But again, thoughts and prayers to the citizens of LA or the Palisade area, and I hope this gets resolved quickly.
It's not still on fire, is it?
I don't know what the current situation is.
Probably not as bad.
Well, one would hope that they've been able to get it to die down. At this point, you'd think they'd call in like the National Guard or firefighters from all over the state, not just Los Angeles, because I know that was a big problem. But yeah.
So the Palisades, according to ChatGPT, is almost the size of Brighton
What the fuck?
or Bournemouth.
That is huge.
Fairly big.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Google how big is LA in comparison to London, or Ask Chat.
Sorry, size.
But I guess
it's just saying basically like Brighton and whatever. But I'm saying specific. I forgot. I didn't prompt it properly.
I guess we can segue into the man that's losing his mind. I think there's no other way to put it.
Baby Daddy Lucian.
Drake versus UMG for defamation of character. I can't.
You know when I said he's gonna crash it on him, did we foresee this?
No,
no one could.
Because at some point you start to crash it on yourself. And I think a diss track can only allow you to be crashed upon so much. Because then obviously everything after is how you decide to react and move from it. And in theory, he's just spiraling.
I can't believe the level. Like, he must know he's done. He's
the
done.
beginning part of Euphoria is aging so much like fine wine, and just appreciating it in value as time goes on.
It didn't even need to go like this.
It never did.
Huh?
It never did.
It was I feel for him I feel for him, but I understand his plight in the sense that it was a humiliating, horrible loss by unanimous decision. I think even the most staunch Drake fans have to give it up and say, yeah, Kendrick won that. But you're making this worse for yourself but at this point, I don't think we'd still be talking about the beef to this degree, but because you're constantly keeping it in the news with your antics.
Oh yeah.
That's all we're going to continue to talk about. And now we're looking at you like he's a dunce, man. I just don't see who's in his corner that's telling him, yeah, this is a good idea, this is it.
So for context, for those people who don't know, Drake has pretty much retracted the lawsuit against Spotify and UMG, claiming that there is a RICO against him by promoting the specific song Not Like Us, and has filed a new lawsuit saying that UMG specifically has done the most to promote Not Like Us in the aim of defamation of Drake himself, and that's what's happening.
Because you lost a rap battle? Come on, man. And if anyone knows how to come out of a battle unscathed, it's you. I would even, if he'd sued Pusha, I would have actually understood that more. Because at least you can go with the angle, fam. It's not even just me.
He controlled a narrative and it made it work for him. That's
this
all.
one.
With
The one with
Pusha T.
Pusha. But no, what I'm saying is, if he wanted to sue Pusha for defamation of character, I would get that, because you mentioned my son. You've outed information that a 1-year-old or however his child was at the time couldn't out or protect himself.
It's a W to me.
Oh, it is. It was. Most
That would be
certainly.
another W. But I mean, at the end of the day, people look at Drake like, yo, why are you suing over a rap battle?
No,
but
but
now,
that one makes more sense. All he's done is call him names. It's actually not that deep. The world doesn't, like, you have some crazy instances where you've acted inappropriately. We can all agree. But I don't think anyone thinks he's a pedo. Like, no.
and you know what's the craziest thing? Kendrick Lamar never called him a pedophile.
Yeah, he did.
No.
Certified lover boy, certified loyal boy.
He said the people around you are questionable.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. It's on the track.
He said,
called him
hey,
pedophile,
he said, hey Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Yeah, but he didn't say, I know you like him young. I hear.
Nah, come on, man. You know that's,
He's insinuating.
if I said something, because it's a respected thing. This is a bit different, but they're both in the industry. You kind of take him at his word. If I said something like, I hear E-Man likes da or something crazy, it has more validity because we run in the same circles. I just think
Okay.
it's mad.
Yes, but is it true or not?
It's not true.
Exactly.
But-
No one can prove if it's true or not. Just because you say it doesn't necessarily mean it's true or not.
Yeah,
So if I
yeah.
say I heard, if I say I know, then it's a different statement.
But the damage is done anyway.
It doesn't-
It doesn't.
It's completely
but no,
done.
to your point, I do hear it, but yeah, the damage is beyond done. But to sue, because like all your credibility is done, I don't even really know how he can pivot after this and make it look cool. I thought maybe go more full pop, but I don't think any genre anyone's gonna.
Part 2.
Nah, I'm telling you, it's nothing's gonna work right now, and we're seeing that. How much do you think he's selling first week if he comes out now? If he drops today? What would be your guess? You still think he's doing 300 plus?
I think he's he could do
Probably
300.
200 minimum.
Yeah, he's still Drake, bro. Like I don't think because there are some people who don't even know what's actually happening.
Yeah, sure.
That's the crazy part. There are some people today who know who Drake is and they don't know what's happening.
That's nuts. But I guess with the core that, he still would want, because I know himself, he would want to impress the core. You can see he wants a validation from the genre, and he ain't got it. That's killing him inside.
Now he's just proving to people that he's really not like us.
Yeah, it's true. Because there's no way I could lose a rap battle and sue. Fam, just go to the studio.
You don't listen, bro. Other people don't even have to go to the studio. They just go straight to road and
Nah,
prove. Yeah, but bro, you called me a pedophile, bro. Not me specifically. You called Drake. You called Drake a pedophile, and now you didn't even call him a pedophile by the bars that he did. And what makes this is the worst part is academics. This is what makes it worse, yeah, because it's like in Meet the Grahams. Kendrick insinuates that them man are running a trafficking ring. And then with Fighting Irish and then the whole thing.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot.
This whole thing happening, I know Pusha T is the one who actually outed Bron first. Yeah.
What, for the Yes Jules thing?
No, he said, I know you like white girls,
When did Push say that?
This was Mommy, you miss me. Popular Demand, the song Popular Demand.
Okay.
The Bron line.
Yeah, the Bron line. So cool. Put that to the side. But academics is saying, yeah, bro, you and LeBron, you both came to the yard. You would run down a few white girls and red hair and this and that. He's now basically, if anybody wants to take that to court, they could probably say, look, this is evidence given in that you've confirmed to academics that this is the case, that you are running a trafficking ring.
I don't know. Is that the same thing?
It's wild. Because I looked up what trafficking is, and as wild as we may think it is, it's not that bad. Like in terms of just the term. So if someone says like I went to see Drake, and then you know, it was written. We know exactly what we're supposed to do. I went there, had fun, but then I was on the plane to London, and then I saw Retete, and then I had sex with Retete, trafficked.
Yeah. It's that simple. That's a large part of Diddy's
Even
issue.
if a person turns around and says, I wasn't really there for that, and I didn't really consent to it, but it was just like, okay, whatever, trafficked. That's how low it can be.
Yeah. Literally, if someone hops on a plane for the sole purpose of giving up cookie.
No, so long as both partners have agreed, and there's been like, it's been consented.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But the moment I take you and then I put you on a plane somewhere else, trafficked. Yeah. So then now, if I'm saying you're coming with me to have fun with me, and then all of a sudden Bron just turns up,
I know Bron's house is hot
and then
right
all
now.
of a sudden it's just like, oh,
I don't know why he did that on Fighting Irish.
why do you milk?
Man said, don't make me mess up your public image.
Yeah, but just stop it, man. This is what I said in the beginning. If Drake just said, Kendrick Lamar, you're the best rapper, I'm gonna leave you alone. That's it.
He was never gonna do that. He should never responded to like that. I said it when Monty when he came on.
You're right.
I said, do not respond to like that, because this is a situation you don't want to get into. And in life, some people just have more stains on their jacket, and his jacket was stained. There was things he could get at. I just don't understand it. Just every possible avenue in this beef or in this situation, he's made the wrong decision. Even going all the way back to push-ups, I would have cleared that version, the original version, with the Get Money.
Yeah. But maybe he never
sample.
got cleared.
But I don't know, man. It just seems like bad decision after bad decision.
But then it now comes to the conversation of like, who's leaking his stuff. Is it him, or is it someone else in this camp that is just moving loose
About what?
about leaking like music and whatever the case is? Because it did leak, but people were like,
Nah, he did that himself.
So he did that
the
himself.
conductor with Fighting Irish, I think he's given conductor the permission, said put it out, and then if it pops off and everyone likes it, we'll release it properly. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. Take it back down. For the most part, it got backlash. We said what we feel on it, but a lot of people felt like it was woe is me raps. There's no accountability. Bro, how are you doing? Like, you just look disheveled. It's
But back to my point of like the whole lawsuit, yeah. Like, he went as far, like, whoever's lawyers are, they're doing phenomenal work. Phenomenal work in terms of actually covering everything that has been said about Drake and so on and so forth. Now, in terms of Drake's image and the defamation, just stop it. You need to stop.
Yeah.
But in terms of the work that they've done for this, phenomenal effort. Because I would have never found out that they called him a pedo Jew boy.
that didn't happen. Who did that?
That's in the lawsuit.
Yeah, but I'm not saying
That's a comment.
Where are they saying that came from?
One of the videos. Like, someone commented on the video.
Oh, someone commented on the video.
Yeah.
But even, what's it?
And
Someone
then
made
someone
a
said,
really
"Oh yeah,
good point.
Damn, Drake is done. He's a pedophile."
He's saying something about him being Jewish has impacted how people view him and see him, and he's saying that there's a bit of anti-Semitism in this. I saw that. I said, bro, what are you doing? I forgot you were Jewish. You haven't claimed it. You ain't loved it since hell yeah fucking right. That was the last time I saw you be Jewish, and now you want to use it saying anti-Semitism.
And no one really, yeah.
As a fan,
I don't know if I can continue to be a fan. I'm not going to sit here and say if he drops something, I'm not going to listen.
And
But
they
I can't sit here and say, that's my guy.
They not like us alluding to the fact that he might be Jewish and like he's not really like, bro, stop it.
Is that what he's saying?
That's what
You're
on the
mixed.
that's on the lawsuit.
I don't even want to say you're mixed race. You present as black. You act black. You're black. Stop with this.
yeah, as a fan,
It's done, man. It's done.
as a fan for
For all the
me,
pricks.
Wow.
cool down.
No, I'm livid.
as a fan, I'm quite sad because massive Drake fan over the years.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I hate the man.
We're
I'm not gonna sit here and cap. So to see how it's got to this point and the fact that he decided to sue off the back of a rap battle is the most un-hip hop thing you could ever do. So from that perspective, I'm like, I've lost respect for the man. I can't lie. Like everybody has.
Yeah.
Who cares about this thing? The other end of it for me, the only part of it for me where I find it interesting, not the defamation and stuff. I think that's all corny. Not the whole, the stuff that you've been mentioning about how he's been perceived about his like heritage and stuff. I do think he's using that to weaponize. What I do think will be interesting to see how it pans out is the renegotiation aspect of it, because I do think that will be a very interesting tell to see what the resolution is, because ultimately at the end of it, you can kind of guess that, or it's been alluded to that he's been at the end of his contract, right? So I'm curious to know how that is resolved, whether he has any albums left on his current deal, whether or not there's anything that he's owed like financially, because I don't think there is, because I think the money was given up front from what I've seen. Yeah. And then the other aspect of it I'm curious about is just the fact that whether we like it or not, and whether Drake would admit or not, he lost on his own back, and if he won, this wouldn't be the case. But he lost. Sure. So now, given the fact that he lost, and it does incentivize UMG to get behind this record, and it allowed them to put themselves in a better negotiation position to offer Drake a shitter deal. Because let's not sit here and pretend like UMG are not, who they are.
Yeah.
I want to know what the terms would have been if it had turned out to be in his favor, and whether or not he'd most likely take that money to like a Warner or a Sony and be like, look, give me money to make me your priority artist, because you can still command that. You're still Drake. Obviously not as much as it was before, because obviously this whole will impact him, so we're gonna have to see where he lands. I'm just curious. My whole thing now is I'm curious to see how it all is wrapped up, because from a business perspective, it's gonna be very interesting to see what his next move will be, because whether the music bangs or not, whether people like him or not, it's kind of irrelevant unless we see what he decides to actually do as a result of the lawsuit. Because if he loses by all counts on all the defamation stuff and all that stuff, no one's going to be surprised. But if somehow he manages to prove that this is actually UMG doing him dirty on a negotiation tip, then that can be very, very interesting. That's the only aspect where I'm like, ooh, that could be an interesting way. Maybe it's just my nerdy brain clicking there, but I really want to know how that resolves.
To answer that, I could say what 50 said. He said he was on the same. I think he was on the same distribution as Game. So the same time they were promoting G Unit, they were promoting G Unit.
Yeah.
Now obviously G Unit didn't go that far, but 50 Cent was the biggest. And he was absolutely amazing at what he was doing.
I don't think 50 likes that other side,
What Game?
Kendrick.
I think he does. No. I think he does. He's just talking. For the sake
I don't know. He's been talking.
No, he's just talking for the sake of talking.
I know. 50 needs to stop being put in front of a microphone for
just 50,
a year.
You can't really legislate for what he's going to say. Or
I know, but it's just moving. He's just moving a bit mad. I don't know.
I think
if it was, say it was one of you, man, and you was going here, there, and everywhere talking on the beef and talking the way 50 was, I'd give you a call. I'd be like, what's up?
But I think the thing with the 50 is you can tell that he sees aspects
He's definitely
of Drake.
Drake's boy.
Yeah, of course. That's kind of obvious.
He's only seen the side of what's happened with the defamation. He's only seen the RICO case. He's not really now seeing this whole defamation. Because from the defamation, it's basically making it personal. You have promoted a track that is defaming me in every single way, shape, or form. Look how everything that he's done. I had to pull my kid out of school.
Huh?
That's what it says on the defamation case.
Yeah, those aspects of it.
But 50 Cent hasn't come into the west side. 50 Cent.
Kill me.
No, but those aspects of it are peak though. But what I will say to what you're saying, E-Man, is
out of school.
Yeah, man.
E-Man, but what
touched unscathed.
With the 50 thing though, I think it's simpler than that. I think it's just the fact that 50 knows what it's like to be the man and knows what it's like to see everybody want you to
Yeah, to fall. So
And
that's
it's exactly,
why
and it's
he's
exactly the same thing.
That's why
Now
50
Drake
Cent is
obviously
there.
made it happen himself,
Yeah.
but that's the reason why he sympathizes with him. It's not rocket science.
That's not.
But to obviously come back to your point, Collins, it's like, cool. I don't think he'll win this case. If, let's just say your scenario, if he does win, what does music look like from now on?
I don't think he'll ever do. I don't think UMG and Drake will do business again moving forward.
Yeah,
It's impossible.
What I would say though, and I do think it's interesting to think about this because obviously everything's a conspiracy, right? But his deal was the biggest deal that any like rap artist has ever got, right?
Yeah.
And he was gonna renegotiate to get an even bigger one. And what we've seen in the past with these labels is that it always gets to a certain point where if an artist flies a bit too close to the sun, you need slapping down.
Go clip his
He was
wings.
talking even before the beef. He was talking spicy on Away From Home. Google Lucian, but I'm the real boss.
Yeah.
He's been in major distribution. My label on my dick for real. Like he's been talking spicy for a minute. So don't be surprised if UMG prior to the beef had been like, yo, you know what? You need to relax. Because we've seen it happen before. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I know the Drake and the Kendrick thing is a formality. We know that's just set in stone. That's history. The Drake and UMG thing has been bubbling for a minute. So I'm really curious to know where that really lands.
I think Drake has one more album in this whole renegotiation.
Who knows, bro?
They are going to make that tank.
No,
But he doesn't need to negotiate. What will happen, I think, this is my best bet. I think they'll reach a settlement and he'll get paid off however much is due for that album, and then they'll go separate ways, and that'll be that. And then he'll be free to be independent or put music out under Sony or Warner or whoever.
But I just remember the conversation with Joe Budden where he says, if Drake goes solo, the industry is dry.
Nah, but I think that was before.
That was before. Now it's a case where it's
But that was when
they might be able to survive.
I think that was Scorpion period where he was looking to renegotiate, and people were begging him. They were begging him when he came out initially. Go do it solo, do it without a label. You'd change the game forever. Obviously, he opted not to. Went with Young Money, Cash Money. But there's been so many points where he could have gone solo. But I don't know. His situation with the label is messed up, man.
Yeah,
I don't really see, as you rightly said, I don't see any resolution
I
here.
think it's done, and it'll be very interesting to see who he goes to, because whether UMG like it or not, it will be. And obviously the beef withstanding, I do think it will be a blow for one of UMG's competitors to pick up Drake.
But will they keep his catalogue?
Like we were speaking about, I think up until a certain point is how much UMG has, and the rest of it is Drake's on licensing. So you're right, after 5 or 10 years, however long it may be, the rights will revert back to Drake. So I think Drake from my best guess is Drake from Scorpion onwards is his.
Okay.
Which, it makes sense.
Licensed it, yeah.
The only thing is with Drake is that if he goes to Warner or Sony, to Sony and Warner's detriment, they'd have to offer more money to bring him in because they don't have the catalog to guarantee his music against.
And more importantly, they may have to turn around and basically
they have to pay a premium.
They have to buy it from UMG,
which I don't think they'll be able. I don't think they'll do that. UMG won't sell it. It's not worth the money.
Well, they could, but it's just it's way too much money.
I don't think they.
That's an insane amount of money.
But if Drake does go solo, he could then conquer Asian market. If he does go solo, he could possibly go off into the Asian market and conquer the Asian market, and then allow him to actually, because there's the whole K-pop.
He's not gonna go.
No, but what I'm saying is there's a whole Asian, bro. There's 2 billion people.
I'm not saying that's the. But I can't. How? He's gonna link up with
Young.
Thing is though, like that is probably like as much as we've always said, like Taylor's been able to do things on a business level that nobody's been able to match. Like she's breached every single market. She learns how to sell physical, and those are 2 things that Drake hasn't really been able to fully. Like he's obviously an international act, but he's not been able to fully capitalize on like vinyls and being like merch and that. So I think. I don't know. If he goes independent, I really don't know what that looks like.
Did Taylor's tour make a bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's her. I don't like
She
the
might
music, but
she might
she's
be
her.
able to do the World Cup.
Yeah, comfortably.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
She's the biggest artist
Right now.
in the 21st century, if you will.
Of the 20s.
Whether we like it or not. Yeah, that's just where we're
Nah,
at.
I mean, she jars me a little bit with some of the decisions she makes, but I can't deny what
You gotta respect the hustle. Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm keep referring to like Drake and giving him bail, but it's very interesting to see how he draws parallels towards like people like Taylor Swift, because ultimately Taylor Swift is the golden egg of UMG, and Drake was basically there and thereabouts at times. So he's like, UMG would never do that to Taylor, and to some extent, it's true. But Taylor's not going to be engaged in a rap beef and
No, but that was it. That's why I
her
told-
line on her legacy on the line. You did that.
That's why I said,
And you didn't put your best foot forward.
I said, if
So,
you're gonna do
yeah,
this,
man.
you've got one. He told you as well. You got one chance at this, and it has to work. There's no room for error.
Thing is, there was room for error, bro.
Nah.
You know why?
Do you think even if he lost?
If he lost and if he lost and he did what we said after losing, go away, put your head down, respectfully take the L, and come back with good music, everybody would forget about it. Now
They wouldn't. No, they wouldn't
Yes.
celebrate it as they are today.
now
they
it's
wouldn't
like
celebrate that beef.
It's like a bushfire, bro.
Yeah.
It's just continuously like
and he's just there,
You're just
adding
making it worse.
He's the
gasoline.
one. Yeah, I know. He's the one that's fanning the
Fanning the
flame.
flame.
Yeah,
That's-
just
that's
I
what
can't
we're-
believe it.
gasoline
I've just
speed,
not
they're just-
seen anyone move this erratic before. This is really like, I don't know. It's really made me question what have I been listening to for the last 15 years.
And J. Cole
I wouldn't
was just
question
there,
that.
just chilling.
What I would question is Drake. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What I would question is Drake from the past 4 to 5 years. 'Cause that's where it really took heed and the change really kicked in. Because he was I don't think he would have done this being the person he was before. I think he felt a bit. I think he thought too big of himself and too little of the people around him. I think he underestimated Kendrick. And this is how it's. I think he rated Kendrick more earlier in his career. I really think he did.
100%, yeah,
and
yeah.
now he's like, oh, bro, he's a
Well, I
little
think
boy
he
to
saw
me.
what Mr. Morale did, and do you know what? Even
And he was comfy.
Yeah.
He was comfy. Super comfy. He just said, nah, listen.
Your
It's
last
my
one,
time
Brit.
to shine
Yeah.
and destroy you.
I thought
Be the big stepper.
Yeah, he was. He definitely he didn't show up, and it's come. Well, he showed up, but he got beaten by the better rapper, really and truly. If we're gonna keep it a stack,
And he thought he would never respond. Like, because I listened to Taylor Made and I was like, oh, okay.
But maybe this is it. Someone made a really interesting point. Drake is that friend in high school that still talks about high school and reminisces on. It feels like he reminisces on the glory days. He's stuck, almost. Like, you're 38, but I feel like you move like a teenager who's got an infinite amount of money.
his music hasn't matured. His
he
music
as a
hasn't
person,
matured.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's been a critique we've had for a long time prior to the beef.
But I think that's it. That
Yeah, but then that's
showed
when you
its
listen
face
to
and
like,
its beat
that's
in
when
the
you listen
beef.
to someone like Ye when he says, I don't want to be in my 40s rapping about this, and that.
Fam, you got a child. I don't even know how the youth's doing.
Taken out of school.
That's an every episode. Taken out of school
crazy.
is crazy.
Nah, man, just call it Baby Daddy Lucian.
I can't believe he took him out of school.
Yeah, it says in the lawsuit, man. It's just like, wow.
That's an L of
I don't know how to feel about the streamers though, because a lot of them
Yeah,
they were
leave them
just
alone.
like, well, hold on a
It's
second.
just their job.
This is what
And
I was.
it's Kai and
Kai Cenat,
See,
yeah.
the thing with that one
Zeus.
is you're a dunce because you texted Kai saying, "Stay on stream. I'm about to drop." Basically, he dropped.
And he was
So
there
you
dancing.
what did you want him to do? If Kendrick then dropped, of course we've got to react to it.
Yeah.
Streamers were just doing their job.
And this is
Did you
this
mention RDC World as well?
bro, I don't. Who's RDC?
Oh, they do skits, but the skits they were
Oh,
dropping.
that's the brother with the crown. I think he did a review with a crown on.
Oh, okay.
I think that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that loves J. Cole.
Nah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So this was part of your point on the previous lawsuit on basically, if there was a case where Spotify, UMG, Apple Music were and YouTube were basically allowing this to happen, is with the YouTube streams. And with the YouTube streams, they could have basically allowed these people to make money, and then to a certain point when the beef is kind of like dipped down, that's when they turn around and just clamp the...
Oh, you're on about the copyright stuff?
Yeah, that's when they clamp it, and then they do the copyrights, and then they take the rest of the money that is received. So I can understand that. However, that wasn't the case. These man, they were just receiving funds because UMG didn't know, like all these other, and that's when the whole situation where people said, "Oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar is a real one. He's allowing people to basically earn money from the YouTube views that people are like the reviewers and so on and so forth." It's like that was another thing, and it was just like now he's put that in the lawsuit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy.
Labels can choose whether or not they allow content creators to monetize on that. But when you think about it from a label perspective, it's free advertising, so you wouldn't really want to allow them.
I understood why they made it so difficult to react in those sort of situations.
What, as in just to make reaction clips in general? Yeah. I think it's just.
I hear it, but it's free promotion.
It is, but yeah, it's the money you're foregoing, and ultimately,
because them man were eating.
It's
for real.
It's the agreement between the platform and the label, and if you breach your contract, then obviously it's an issue. So it's more of like a mega issue as opposed to. But they played their hand right by allowing it like for that limited time period. So fair play.
I don't know what he does. It's done. It's done. I think he's obviously not going to get signed by UMG again. He'll go elsewhere. But the mammoth
honestly,
task,
never mind. Part 2 is coming.
Nah, the mammoth task that whatever label.
Pause.
The mammoth task, whatever label he decides to go to, has to try prop him back up. Insane.
I think he'll be able to.
I
think he'll be able to put out decent music and allow himself to continue his career, because as much as he has his ability has kind of diminished over the past few years, I still feel like there's a level of quality still in his music. What I think will happen is, and I said this before, it's that Nicki Minaj thing where you're not liked. You have your core who like you, and your music is actually still decent.
Yeah.
But you're no longer gonna be that guy anymore, which is it's been how many years? Yeah. So it had to end at some point. But for it to end like this, that is a massive stain on your legacy.
Oh no, it's not even a stain.
What you can do is take the money that he has left, which is questionable. Not going to get into it, but take the money that he has left and then put that into film studios, just so he can make money off of film content, series, and so on and so forth.
He's going to be in your
where he's not rapping anymore, because that's where the money is at. That's how 50 Cent has basically gone from Power 1 to Season 5 to now Powerverse to now G Unit Studios. He's managed to basically create that, and 50 Cent is a large act.
Is nuts.
So yeah, man. I mean, he's done wonderfully well for himself, and I think the next thing for somebody like Drake is to do that.
But I even thought he was going to go down that path anyway.
He needs to do it now.
I don't think.
Drop that P&D album and just move.
I really don't think we're understanding how much his public persona is damaged.
Because, bro, you can't be on stream saying Anita Maxine and then, bro.
I think it's damaged, but I think we need to kind of look at things in a holistic view when it comes to him. Like his US rep damaged, UK rep damaged. He's sold out a tour in Australia. He's gonna make at least 100 million in Australia.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. Like the business of Drake will manage, and he will still generate money. He's still one of the biggest artists in the world and still makes money. I'm just gonna, but what we're seeing from like a likability standpoint and being able to be the cultural guy, he's no longer the guy.
Yeah,
so it just depends what he wants to do moving forward. Do you continue to tarnish your legacy, or do you eventually, take the L and then just see where it takes you? Because
he's a bad guy as well.
Or you can do a drop when you want, put out music when you want, put stuff on your site when you want, and be independent and not be liked, but still generate money, because that's what Kanye West is not liked, bro.
He's not
liked. I barely like him.
He's not liked.
And that was an
barely like him.
Yeah.
That's an act that I thought was done.
And he's independent.
Number one album, number one single.
okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Drake can do those numbers at this point in his career. Like, I'm sure he can. So I wouldn't go as far as saying he's like done, but the Drake that we knew is definitely done. I can definitely agree to that. That's no longer a thing anymore. So we're in uncharted territories now. Anyway, do we have anything else on the list, or should we save it for Ep 2?
We can actually. That was well discussed.
Yeah, I think that's the most well-rounded combo we've had on it, to be fair. Because it's a lot of, we've talked, I mean, I was even thinking, do I even want to talk about it again? But I think at the end of the day, it is an interesting thing we've never seen before. So
I think we'll talk about this for the rest of our life. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't come up at least once a pod.
You know how your dad will be talking about
football.
Yeah. How my dad will be talking about boxing. Yeah, man.
That's it. This is
See,
it. Bro.
George Foreman.
This is our
George Foreman.
I don't think this is insane.
We foresaw this. We did Drake versus Kendrick versus Cole 3 years ago.
We really did.
But we were wrong because Drake somehow won. So
listen, Sicko Mode was an incredible song.
There we are, man. Do you guys have any music choices for the week?
Do you know what? Funny enough, Drake, Evil Ways featuring J. Cole, because the man can rap. It's a crying shame.
Drake. What's the song? I just had the song in my head. Go on, Collins. I'll think of it.
I'm gonna go for Kendrick Lamar. GNX, the song. Have you ever been a joint and you know it? He's so sinister on that song, bruh. You don't want to see them doors sliding on a caravan.
Rock Main Chat Podcast episode 272.
The song is.
Oh, my bad, bro.
The song is Drake Headlines. And they want to see me pick it up. And where'd I leave it at? You left it at the case for you.
Certified lawyer boy.
Certified